All right, it's been a minute since I posted something here. The last time I posted was a couple months ago, and I spoke to my Toronto Spring Expo experience. Submitted some cards for consignment, and I was so confident that I was going to do like a consignment review, but time got away from me. It's been a couple months, so I'm going to say that ship has sailed. But I will say, if I may, that the Slab Sharks experience, I can see why so many people highly recommend them, and I would do the same after using them. It was a great end to end experience. They're prompt. They got the cards up in the following auction after I submitted them. But for the pickups, I'm just going to get into it.
Oh, 1998. It doesn't get any better than a 1998 hockey refractor, folks.
And with that said, the 98 OPG Chrome release, I've always sort of viewed this as more of a flagship release. I know a lot of people's attention from this year go to the Bowman Atomic refractors. Those are numbered out of 100. And those are nice, but these ones are a lot easier on the wallet. So I appreciate that very much. And the other thing I'll say is the print run. So there's a lot of speculation with the print run on these. I'm not sure where I think they kind of lie somewhere between 100 and 200, but I don't think that the players were printed one to one, meaning that they're not evenly distributed throughout the set. And I say that because some are pretty easy to pick up, but others I've been looking for several years at this point, and I haven't seen a copy surface in the wild. So interesting little sidebar there. But yeah, I try to pick up some of the better names, and I'll start off with this guy, fifth all time in NHL points. I have a sneaky little collection of Ron Francis. He gets passed up a lot, and for good reason, sort of, because he played on the Penguins behind Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. And so, I mean, he wasn't even the B side of this equation. But that being said, you look at the bottom line of his NHL points, and he put together one of the best NHL careers anyone ever has. And how cool is this? Wearing the Penguins jersey, rocking the C, but you see the Hurricanes logo called out. So it's kind of a sign of the times. They wouldn't have had a player image of Ron Francis at this point in time when they were printing the set, but he would have been a Hurricane. So certainly one of his better playing day refractors of him in a Penguins jersey. Also have here Sergei Fedorov, and it's almost unfair because the Wings teams from the 90s and early 2000s, they were like the Harlem Globetrotters. They were just that good. And Fedorov, he was a legendary player in his own right. Also picked up Theo Fleury from this set. He was a fan favorite, and to have him in the Flames jersey, just fitting. I always associate him as a Flame. Kind of wish I had more stuff of his because he played with ferocity. And speaking of ferocious players, Darian Hatcher, this guy was an absolute hammer. And for the Dallas teams, I spoke to the Detroit teams a minute ago. Well, Dallas, they were always hovering around those kind of Western Conference finals. I mean, they won a cup, they lost in the finals, they were always in it. And people probably think more of Madonna and Hall and Belfort during this time. But Darian Hatcher, he could hold down any blue line. He was that good. And if you're not familiar with him, go and check out his highlights. Another D-man in the queue, Niedermeyer, he was a lot more cerebral. He was methodical out there. He could move the puck well. He could skate well. He was probably just a slight tier below a player like Lidstrom and Bork. He doesn't have quite the accolades, certainly the individual accolades of those two, but he had all the team success you could ever hope for. It must have been a nightmare to have to face this guy and match up against him. And here we go, one goalie from this round of pickups anyway, Mike Richter. All right, so from the 90s, there was Waugh, Hasek, Belfort, Brodeur. And in my top five to round it out, it would be Mike Richter, and he was lighting the world on fire. A lot of people just instantly think of his Stanley Cup win, and that was impressive. But for me, it was that 96 World Cup of Hockey. Tournament MVP, and he deserved it. They beat Canada in the finals, and Canada had a nasty lineup that year.
You think those hockey refractors from the 90s have a chance against the 2000s, do ya? Look at the shine on these 2005 Upper Deck ice.
This, of course, is Crosby and Ovechkin's rookie year, but you might not be familiar with this parallel here. This is the rainbow parallel to 100, and that's because they don't apply to the rookies. The rookies use that classic acetate design that is synonymous with ice, whereas the veterans from this checklist get this rainbow shine number to 100. One other thing to add, this is a playing day card of Lemieux, so I make the rare exception to kind of go outside and pick up cards that are not playing days. But this one checks all the boxes. So I recognize that Lemieux only played a couple handful of games during this season, but just to think that Lemieux and Crosby were teammates for as long as it lasted, what a passing of the torch moment from one generational player to the next. And Yager, he's a Penguin through and through, but I can stomach him on the Capitals and I can stomach him as a Ranger. And I mean, he almost won the scoring title in 2005. He had over 120 points. That was the year Joe Thornton just barely won the Art Ross. And by Yager's standards, his career kind of took a bit of a nosedive after he left New York. But it was nice to add a card, a nice shiny card of Yager in his Rangers gear. And so Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, yep, check. Canadian check. Oh, look at this one, the color match. Okay, I don't need to belabor the point here. Fleer Ultra, Connor McDavid, the Sapphire Medallion. Love Fleer Ultra. Love a nice color match. Wow, another Connor McDavid. And look at this one. This is pretty cool, huh? Yeah, Team Canada. A Team Canada McDavid card that didn't break the bank. And so, okay, so I'm going to have a little heart-to-heart here, okay, folks? So I don't open packs, but I do like kind of feeling a part of things from time to time. And there's been a lot of Team Canada stuff being released, but the singles are expensive. What do? Well, I go try to find the next best thing. I don't know if this is the next best thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of throwback to the old Upper Deck days. And I will toast to that. Well, I don't drink either. I don't drink, don't open packs. I'm a lot of fun. All right. Much respect to the players who have lengthy NHL careers, all with one organization. Patrick Elias, what a career. You don't score 1,000 NHL points by accident. And I don't have much of his stuff. And so 2 cards here I've added. The Seismic Gold from 2015. And this is the only year that Elias was featured in OPG Platinum. And the 2013 Panini Select Red Prism. The color match here. Oh, look at this. So shiny. Second year Platinum. First time that the Emeralds made an appearance in the product. And they've been a staple ever since. So numbered out of 10. It's been that way since the beginning. And being a Crosby collector, I've had this circled on my wish list for a little while. I do prefer the Seismic Golds, but it's nice to have a little extra color. A PSA 10 copy of the Emerald Surge sold not all that long ago, and so when an ungraded copy circulated, I figured I'd probably get it at a pretty good discount relative to the graded copies, and it turned out that was the case. I haven't decided whether I'm going to grade it or just throw it in a one-touch, but happy that it's in the collection. I'm going to wrap this one up quick, but I do have a bunch of other cards sitting to the side, so hopefully the plan is to make another pickup video. I hope it doesn't take me several weeks to throw something up here again. But until then, may your wish list become your acquired list, and I'll check you later.